coast to coast, it's your hosts, the Lombardi Leap and Mersey FB. This is Beyond the Frozen Tundra.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, the Lombardi Leap, here with Mersey FB. Let's talk Packers football. Headed down, or I should say up to or over to, I guess depending on where you're
A
at.
little bit to
on
the
map.
right, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit to the right. To the New York Giants, which isn't technically in New York, it's in New Jersey, but they don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Especially after a loss we don't talk about.
This has got to be one of the first times we're playing two NFC East teams back to back, right?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. This is our last NFC East game, too.
Mm-hmm.
We already played the Cowboys. We played the Commanders.
We got the whole division this year? Jeez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That was our division we go up against.
Okay.
And right now we are
1-1-1.
1-1-1.
So
I'd like to make that 2-1. I'd like to end on 2-1-1.
yeah.
But we're gonna have to see where this team decides to go, because I kind of think we're at a bit of a crossroads here for the Packers.
I would agree. We got to get the offense figured out. That is our first priority.
Yeah, I definitely think there has to be a sense of urgency there to get it figured out. I know one of the things that seems to be the pressing, kind of like, I think of the right word here. One of the things that people seem to claim is that Jaden Reed is going to fix the offense, but I kind of feel like I've heard, well, when Watson comes back, he's going to fix the offense.
That's what we thought.
Yeah. There's been a lot of, well, if we get this person, it's going to fix the offense. And when we talked, I know we talked a lot about this last episode and vented our frustrations with the offense here. So I won't spend too much time on this, but a lot of it's going to come down to the offensive line and Matt LaFleur. And Elton Jenkins, obviously done for the year, fractured his ankle, and now Sean Ryan moves to center. Packers were obviously coming off of a loss here. And it's back-to-back losses too as well.
Mm-hmm.
Giants have really struggled. They're 2-8. They just fired their coach. They don't have it. They're on their fourth kicker in basically 4 weeks. They're pretty banged up. The defense has consistently improved here, and I think that you and I can both agree we haven't really had any problems with the defense. It's the offense here that's really struggled, and the Giants are kind of the same way. I feel like they have a little bit of they have some inconsistency with their offense just because they had a rookie quarterback. And now it's Jameson Winston. That defensive line, I think, are really the strong suits for both these teams here, especially.
Oh, I would agree with you. I think they have a great defensive line. Their secondary is underrated. Their only weak spot right now with their defense is their linebackers outside of Bobby Okereke.
Yeah, and he's having a bit of a tough year. He's more of a pass rusher.
Yeah, they have been snake bit with injuries this year on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's secondary too. They have Paulson Adebo, who I was a fan of, and I was interested in the Packers signing him. And then they have I really like Lott, who I believe he's a free agent at the end of the year. And then Drew Phillips has come along very nicely for them. I mean, obviously they have a high round pick in Abdul Carter, which everybody refers to as Micah Parsons 0.0. And then you have Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. That's a pretty stacked defensive line there. What are your since we're talking about the Giants defense here, what do the Packers got to do to get things right? Like, especially for this game. Like, what do you, I know what we saw in the Eagles game was a struggle to barely put up any points, or only 7 in that case. What needs to change here specifically against the Giants to get moving?
I think that they might have an easier time establishing the run against the Giants than against the Eagles, because the Eagles have a different profile of edge rushers than the Giants do. You definitely have more speed rushing edge rushers on the Giants, so you don't really have that power to hold the point of attack in the run game.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit a different format here. Like, the Eagles are very much pretty beefed up on their defensive line
because they want to win with 4. The Giants don't play that way. They play a 3-4, so which makes it harder to run inside, but easier to run to the outside.
I do agree with you. I think we should do a little bit better, and I part of the reason why I think we're gonna do better is addition by subtraction here, fortunately, and I think that's with the center position.
I'm hoping Ryan can come in and play well because he's going to be the center for the rest of the year.
Yes, yeah, he's the center for the rest of the year. I mean, he played 30 snaps last game.
30 pass protecting snap.
And I think he looked good, to be honest. Like going back and reviewing it a little bit, he definitely seemed a lot more natural at the center position than he did at guard, surprisingly.
I would agree with you.
With the also with the offense, you want him to establish a run. What are you gonna do about Jordan Love here?
I'm just gonna let him throw. You need to give him a game where you can let him throw so he can, if his confidence was rattled even the tiniest bit from the Eagles game, you can be like, hey, just start throwing it and trust your receivers.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if Matthew Golden's back. I do think specifically that I kind of hope Matt LaFleur runs a couple crossers here a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe us throwing a slant or two in there. I understand that he wants to establish the run, but I think it's important to get your $55 million quarterback in rhythm, who I think is a good quarter. Where you and I both agree he's a top 10 quarterback easily.
Yes, I would agree.
I think that with the passing game not being utilized properly or really not working, and then the run game not working, they are really going to have to focus on getting Love in rhythm. And I think this is obviously every game is a get right game, but I think this is more of a get right game now more than ever,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the offense because of the fact that the Giants are, like we said, they're 2-8. Just fired their coach. I know a lot of people talk about interim coach energy. I'm kind of, I don't really necessarily believe in that. I think that's more of a placebo thing, or it's just an intimidation tactic. I think that if you're a well coached team, you're going to beat other coach teams, and I think firing your coach only really hurts the organization side of things, especially when it comes to the Giants thing.
I agree. You see this effect, quote unquote, more in college football than actually in the NFL. It's just they'll say like, oh, it's just a change of energy or a way to get the locker room more involved. But I don't think that holds up on the same level in the league.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point, actually. I mean, it's definitely a different. There seems to be a lot more emotions involved in college football than there is coaching than there is on the NFL level.
Yeah.
Or it's a different kind of emotion, I should say. Now, with the Packers defense here, what are you kind of thinking? What do we got to do, especially against wild card Winston?
It's exactly that. Wild card Winston. He will be unpredictable, but more often than not, that will work in your favor. You got to force him off his spot, make him make the bad decisions that he's so prone to doing.
He has like 8 touchdowns against us and 0 interceptions as well.
Okay, well, what game did he play us against?
To be fair, though, that was Joe Barry's defense.
That was Joe Barry's defense. And what games were those?
You also like that wild card Winston name?
I did like the wild card Winston. That was a good game. What games did he throw 8 touchdowns against us in?
Not like total.
Oh, total. Yeah, no.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns total.
We played him that much under Joe Barry?
Or he just dropped 4 touchdowns each game. I know we played him twice, because I think we played him once with the Saints.
Right, yes, that game.
And then with I'm pretty sure he played him while he was when he was on the Bucks.
Maybe when he was a Brown before. I don't know. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but either way, like, again, it was Joe Barry's defense, and one of the things that I kind of look at too, people are like, "Oh, he's gonna drop 50 points on us." I'm like, the only quarterback, like realistically, like big play, dropping dimes, was Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott had to play perfect, just to tie the game.
Yeah,
like even Jacoby Brissett didn't get a lot of big plays downfield.
That is true.
And everyone wants to say like Jacoby Brissett cooked us. I'm like, it was more nickel. He more nickel and dimed us, which seems to be what Jeff Hafley wants. He wants to limit your offensive possessions and not give up the big play, which I'm perfectly fine with. I more wanted to see better corner play, and we seem to have gotten that because now Nate Hobbs hurt. Get to see Harrington Valentine, or because it's Valentine.
That was good. I would agree.
I'm a big CV
You
guy
are a
too.
big CV guy.
I've been his staunchest defender, especially ever since Jair Alexander has been hurt. Like, if anybody's going to be cornerback 1, I wanted it to be CV because I think he has better, and I think he gave off better team energy than Jair did. That's just my opinion on that.
I would agree.
Now, one of the things last game I think this defense needs to focus on is what do you think they need to do for third downs?
I mean, I know we don't really have the personnel group to do it, but I would love to stop playing like lining up 6 yards off the receiver on third down. Like I know
Yeah.
they don't trust the corners to play man coverage, but like I would love to play man coverage.
Well, they only trust half the corners to play man coverage. Well, like one. 'Cause I've seen we know CV can play man coverage. It's
Yes,
just Nixon can't.
right.
Nixon can't cover a tight end. Which is crazy.
So sad to say, but it's true.
Like, couldn't cover Dallas Goddard. And yeah, that was rough. So yeah, I mean, so if they have to play that, play off of him a little bit, what do you think? What can you see Jeff Halfley do? Because I don't really see. Well, it is Jameis Winston, so turnovers could be an option, but I'm leaning more towards stops. Do you think this is more of a Micah Parsons takeover game? Because I don't think that Giants offensive line is all that
The
good.
Giants are quite weak on the right side of the offense, their offensive line. Jermaine Illuminor and choose their tackle or guard Greg Van Rotten.
Yeah, you know who that guy is, right? Remember the great Greg Van Rotten, Packers legend?
I don't remember this now.
He played for us from 2012 to 2013.
So a season.
Yeah, he was a UDFA by the Packers. That's crazy though.
He's stuck
He's
around.
35 and
Credit for him
Yeah.
for sticking around.
35 years old, undrafted free agent, and he's been on a team ever since 2012, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. No, weak offensive line on the right side for them. You hope Micah shows up in a bigger way than he did against the Eagles, at least on the stat sheet.
You don't think he had a good game?
Well, he had a good game, but just not in the way that anyone who is like a box score watcher will be like, "Oh, Micah Parsons had a good game." Like Micah registered 7 or 8 ish pressures last night, or against the Eagles, and it felt like he was in the backfield almost every other play. So he did have a good game. He just wasn't like making the impact.
I think that's a schematic thing, though. I think Halfley was more obviously like you want sacks, but getting stops on second down and creating like third and long.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. I think a crazy stat. I can't remember it off the top of my head right here, but the Packers when the Packers force a team into third and long, they are running it like over. I want to say it's like 65% of the time on third and long, which is insane.
Yes.
That's just basically them saying they're basically just giving up when they get into third and long because they don't want to get sacked by Micah Parsons, which who does, and they don't think they're going to have time to throw the ball. So just run it and hope they can get a screenplay. With the weak side, how do you think their run game is going to go? I mean, they don't have Cam Scatabo anymore with an ankle injury. I did like Tyrone Tracy. I mean, do you think they're going to push it to the left side then more?
More than likely, yes. Do they still have Singletary on their roster?
Yep.
Yep.
Devin Singletary's there.
Okay. So without Cam Scatabo now, you'll probably see more of Singletary. Tyrone Tracy's more of the third down back or first and third down back. Devin Singletary will get some good work going. I think it's stoppable, that's for sure.
Their offense is ranked 22nd overall right now, according to PFF. Defense is pretty abysmal here, around 26. I definitely am wondering if they're going to lean into the run early just to get Jameis Winston situated
Yeah.
and to get his happy feet. Now, with Darius Slayton potentially out here or limited because he did not participate on Wednesday in practice with a hamstring injury, they're already down Malik Neighbors. Quan Felton's on IR. Bo Collins is on IR. Bryce Ford Wheaton's on IR. You want to know what wide receivers they have left right now?
Wandale Robertson, Jalen Hyatt, and someone else.
And a guy by the name of Gunnar Olszewski.
I think it's Old Chesky, but you got there.
Old
You got there
Chesky.
close. Yeah. I mean, so here's kind of why I want to play press coverage here. Because Jalen Hyatt can't get off it. And then you're effectively eliminating one of their receivers.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just Wandale Robinson. I mean, I feel like you can put Nixon on Jalen Hyatt.
No, he probably plays out of the slot a little bit, so I'd have Bull on him. But also, when Hyatt was at Tennessee, when they did when they had a bunch formation, Hyatt was always the one off the line of scrimmage, so they always tried to get him away from the press coverage.
Oh, that's right.
So he never really he's like a deep threat, but he can't really get off press coverage. So if you can just get hands on him in the route within 5 yards, so it's not a penalty, then he can't really do much. I mean, Wandale Robertson, sure, but put CV on him and then that's dealt with. I'd say their better tight end is out right now, but they have Theo Johnson who they could probably have to worry about as well.
I like Theo Johnson. I Obviously, like Daniel Bellinger, he's questionable to play here. He did participate on Wednesday, but limited groin injury. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for him. And then kind of looking at the roster. So, I mean, you're looking at potentially a Wandell Robinson show with, or knowing our luck, it's going to be Gunners.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a random, random Gunner game.
Hmm.
Or, actually, you know what I think? I think it's gonna be like last game. I think it's gonna be more of a tight end show.
Okay.
I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is better than Jameis Winston.
Hmm.
I think that their wide receivers are worse. The Giants' wide receivers right now are worse than the Eagles' wide receivers.
I would agree with that sentiment. Yes.
So I think the wide receivers are gonna have a lot tougher time getting open now. Whereas tight ends seem to be consistently open over the middle for us. So I think that they're really going to target like Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger if he's healthy. I think that's primarily what they're going to end up having to do. I also think that they're going to keep the tight ends in there a bit more because of the injuries to their wide receivers
Okay.
and just in an effort to run the ball better too as well. That's what I would do if I was the Giants because you already know your wide receiver room, what's going on there. So we could see. I think our linebackers are going to have to be on their toes here. Bullard and like I think we could see another Evan Williams game as well.
He could. He's definitely in line to have a big game.
With that, looking at the what do you say? What would you say are kind of like the key matchups here for the Packers?
You gotta stop their pass rush, and you gotta be able to actually move the ball. Just get first downs. That's it. Like, and I think it boils down to do the simple stuff well.
I would like to see. I think one of the key matchups here is Matt LaFleur versus second down.
Yeah.
I know, I know that's kind of out of pocket to say, but like
Yeah.
not Matt LaFleur against the Giants here. It's Matt LaFleur against second down. And Matt LaFleur needs to do a better job at getting second and short and not second and long.
Yes.
And instead of necessarily running the ball right away, maybe come out, do a pass, blow people's minds, throw a crosser over the middle to Watson, spice it up a little bit. Add some seasoning. So I think that's the key matchup there is how well Matt LaFleur is gonna call plays on second down. How are you feeling about this mixed up O line versus the Giants blitz packages?
Well, it's gonna be scary, but Kayvon Thibodeau is listed on the injury report. So if he's not playing, that means it's just Abdul and Brian Burns. So there's less to worry about off the edge.
Do you still worry about
Dexter Lawrence, yes.
those speed rushers against Rasheed Walker?
This is what I said. Move Rasheed Walker into guard. Jordan Morgan's your left tackle. Aaron Banks can play right guard. Or if you prefer Belton to do it, he can.
Yeah. That'd be all. I would. I mean, I get it 100%. You're preaching to the choir here, especially I've been pretty adamant about Jordan Morgan playing at left tackle where he belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Darian Kinnard has played nice as well, and I think Darian Kinnard can play guard.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting, too, to see how what this interim coaching staff does because they're playing for their jobs. They're coaching for their jobs. Not obviously with the Giants anymore, but they obviously want a job after the Giants. And so, what a better way to showcase your talents than against Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, it's kind of like a free audition to the rest of the NFL, being like, here's what we can do.
What can you do with this banged up roster? Like, realistically, that's what the Giants are going to have to ask. Now, let's get into the fun part. Predictions. Who do you think's going to have a big game and why?
I said Luke Musgrave on offense will have a big game. You're going to see.
Different.
I know. I think that they're going to be able to exploit the weaknesses at linebacker for the Giants. And then on defense, Carrington Valentine. Because Jameis, when he gets flustered, will make bad throws. And our good corner, our singular good corner, can exploit those.
Obviously, I like anything with Carrington Valentine. Pretty awesome there. That's pretty interesting that you're thinking. Are you thinking CV is going to have an interception?
Yeah, at least an interception or a couple pass breakups.
Gonna break your heart when it ends up being Keyshawn Nixon, isn't it?
Oh, I will not be happy.
Luke Musgrave is an interesting one. I do agree with there's potential there. I don't know if the chemistry's there between him and Love, unless it's just a Matt LaFleur thing again and an offensive line thing, which very well could be because there's no denying that Luke Musgrave has talent. It's just, will he stay on his feet?
He stayed on his feet.
Yeah. I'm hoping he does here again. I went with Christian Watson.
Okay.
And the reason is because I like him against these smaller corners. Like, I really, really do. These safeties for the Giants are not that good, especially in coverage here. The corners, well, like I like Drew Phillips, I like Cordell Flott. They are smaller guys.
Hmm.
And when you're dealing with a guy like Christian Watson, I think it's tough. It's tough. They have struggled at times against these bigger wide receivers like Cordell Flott here.
Yeah.
He's 6'1", 175. Drew Phillips, a little bit bigger, but again, 6 foot, 187. Christian Watson's a big dude. He's basically a tight end running wide with wide receiver speed, like blazing fast wide receiver speed here. Deontay Banks, I mean, 6 foot, 205. He's probably the one that can best defend him because of how physical he is. But he just doesn't have he hasn't played well at all. So I think that the Packers should be able to expose that secondary in that way by using Christian Watson better than they have. And I do think Matt LaFleur is going to change some stuff up.
I hope he changes some stuff up.
I'm hoping, like, something's telling me that Matt LaFleur sees what's going on with the wide receiver packages, and I think this is a good game to kind of further Christian Watson even more as he's coming back from injury. I guess it is MetLife Stadium though, so who knows with that.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling, that it's going to be a Christian Watson game, and a lot of people are going to have to continue to apologize for writing Christian Watson off.
And on defense?
Defense, dude, Edrin Cooper, man. Edrin Cooper is just so good at football.
Oh, is he ever?
Edrin Cooper is entering into this territory of I'm going to have to stop picking him because I can just expect him to be good every single week. It's kind of like picking Micah Parsons,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is that really fair? Is it really fair that I pick Micah Parsons? And we're entering into that territory with Edrin Cooper, where a couple games ago he started off a little slow, but then it seems like a light just popped on for him, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to take it to the next level." And you're literally watching a linebacker progressively become an All-Pro over the course of the year. And I'm not saying he's going to get All-Pro by the end of the year, but I definitely bet in year 3, Edrin Cooper is going to be an All-Pro.
Oh, he should be. Can't name any linebackers who are better than him.
True. Yeah. So I think Edrin Cooper is going to have a game. And I think if anybody's going to get an interception here, I think it's going to be Edrin Cooper because Jameson Winston's going to try and force it to a tight end. And Edrin Cooper has been really, really good in coverage this year.
Yep.
I think he's only allowed, I believe it was 1 catch for 5 yards, according to PFF. That was the PFF stat of the day right there.
That's insane.
So,
he doesn't, like, when you watch him, he doesn't look like he's that good of a coverage guy, but man, can he ever do it?
Dude, he has pass defense. He gets PDs. I remember last year when he landed on Christian Kirk and he broke that dude's collarbone.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. But
I felt bad for Christian Kirk there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, if you had to watch one thing for the Packers, like, what do you think is like the big thing to watch here for the Packers? Like what's one area you would like to see them improve on in this game?
Is everything an answer?
I mean, it can be, but what's like if they could only pick one thing in specific, what would it be?
It's gotta be the play calling. Like Matt LaFleur has got to break his second down run tendencies, like second and first down run tendencies, and be more explosive. I get that they're playing too high, but there are ways to work around that. So they just have to start doing them.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be. I mean, that kind of plays into it too, to what I'm thinking. Like the third down conversion rate, I definitely would like to see, instead of having to rely on an explosive play to convert on third down, just more manageable. Get a more manageable third down.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the second and long allegations and just make the game easier for your offense as a whole.
Yeah.
I think that this game right now, it's going to define the Packers' momentum as we head down the stretch. It is really a crossroads for this team. It's a matter of, are they a playoff team? Because right now they have like an 85% chance to make the playoffs.
Right.
And this game is going to determine whether or not these two game losing streak is it their identity, or are they an actual contender here? And this, obviously, beating the Giants doesn't definitively say they are still a contender, but it's a step to, at the very least, reassuring themselves as well as those who are on the outside looking in, that this is at the very least a playoff.
That's kind of the goal, right? Like just get to January.
End of January.
You just want to be able to play football in January. After that, anything can happen.
I think it's a little bit more than that. And the only thing I'll adjust on that is, get to January with good momentum. Because we got to January last year, and that didn't. But the momentum was gone. There was no momentum when we headed into the playoffs. So I think that you, like you said, get to January, but let's get to January with momentum, and you do that, beating the Giants handedly. And speaking of beating the Giants handedly, what do you think the score is going to be?
I am a little pessimistic this week, especially coming off of last week. I'm going to say the score 21-17.
I'm going optimistic here. I am, and I have no reason to. So, like, I don't. There's no logical reason. This isn't even an emotional pick. Like, I'm not even picking this emotionally because my gut tells me you're right.
Yeah.
As well as my emotions. But like, I'm going against every feeling that I have, and I'm gonna say it's 32-10. I think they go in there and drop 32 points on them, and they only score 10. Because I know we can hold them. If we can hold the Eagles to 10 points, we can hold the Giants to 10 points. That's what I think. That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, I hope the same thing.
And if that is the case, that means we're putting together two halves of football at the same time. Either that or Packers just decided to score 32 points in the second half, which I'm hoping is not the case.
Yeah, we will see.
We will see. Well, that is all, folks. Till next time, go beat the Giants.
To Packers fans coast to coast, thanks for going beyond the frozen tundra. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, go Pack Go!